Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I just want to give my opinion about the Black Lives Matter that is going on right now, and with the protests that is going on all over the world as a result of it. First of all, I just wanted to say that what happened to Mr. George Floyd was horrible. I mean, it's just so disturbing. Like, whenever I see that video, I can't watch it because it's so terrible. It's unbelievable that that officer was able to put his knee on someone's neck, even when the person was saying, "I can breathe." People that were around and videoing were saying, "You're gonna kill this man, can you stop?" He didn't. He kept doing what he was doing, and it was just terrible. So and with the subsequent protest that is going on, it's not just in the United States, and there's protests also in the UK. And I feel like I just wanted to just give my opinion. First of all, I think that we need to learn lessons from this. As black people, we need to learn lessons, because this is not the first time that a black man has been killed by a police officer. It has happened in the past, and people have done what they are doing right now. There's been protests, they've been destroying buildings, they've been burning and doing all kinds of things. They've done it in the past. It hasn't worked, and there is a repeat of that incident. And I think that we are not learning the right lessons. The lesson that we need to learn is not protest, because it hasn't worked in the past. So what makes you think that this is not going to repeat itself? We need to learn the right lessons, and that's why I feel like I really cannot be quiet. I need to talk about this, because it's definitely going to happen again in future. So what can we do to make sure that it doesn't happen again? It's not about shouting on in the streets. You can shout as much as you want until your face becomes blue. If you don't learn the right lessons, history is gonna repeat itself. And I think the lessons that we need to learn, it needs to first of all start from what happened to Mr. Floyd. All we see in the video is the policeman killing him, but we don't know what led to the two of them coming together, what started the whole incident. And I think if we are going to learn lesson, we need to understand the circumstances that led to his death. What was it that he was doing? I don't think that the police were just roaming around the street looking for a black man to kill. What did he do? Why were they arresting him? Nobody knows this, and the media is not talking about it. We just see the video and people just lose their minds. Yeah. So I think we need to learn the right lessons by first of all understanding what happened. What did he do? What was his crime? And I've only heard one news agent that talked about it, that he was buying something in a shop. He was buying something in a shop with a fake note. So I don't know how true that is, but he was doing something that was illegal. And I think we need to understand that. And looking at the young people that are roaming in the streets and causing all kinds of mayhem, I think that is one of the things that we need to look at. We need to train as black people. We need to train our children properly. When I see those young people in the streets beating other people, you are protesting about Black Lives Matter. And what you are doing is you are beating somebody that's trying to protect their shop. What's the difference between you and that man that put his knee on Mr. George's neck and killed him? There's no difference between you and that man. If you are beating somebody up that just trying to protect their shop or their business. So when I see black kids on the streets causing all kinds of mayhem. It makes me very sad because I feel like this is the future of black people. These are the children, the next generation children that we are raising. These are the people that we are raising for the future. It makes me really, really sad, and that's where we need to start from. We need to train our children properly. The Bible says, train up a child in the way that child should go, and when that child grows up, the child will not depart from it. Because I cannot relate with all of these black people on the street and what they're doing, because I was not trained that way. I was not brought up that way at all. And I wonder where these people even train at all. Where are their parents who gave birth to these people? They're behaving like animals. Okay, and that's where we need to start from. We need to train our children properly, that they are not involved in crime. Because the reason why a lot of black people, especially black men, are being killed by the police is because a lot of them are involved in crime, and that's why there's a lot of collusion to, uh, yes, that's why they're colliding with the police, and then we get the consequences of the police killing them. So we need to train our children properly. And another thing that I also wanted to say is it is black people leaving their continent of Africa and going around the world, living in the United States or in Europe or in all over foreign countries. We are leaving our country. God has given us a very big continent of Africa, but we see Africans leaving our continent and going to other places, and that's why we have racism. Because if we were in our own countries, we will not be complaining of racism. We will not be complaining of structural racism, systemic racism, and all kinds and types of racism, because we have left our country and we have moved to foreign country, and as a result we put ourselves at risk of all of these racism, because you will always have evil people, you will always have evil people. There are racist people in every race. There are racist black people, there are racist white people, there are racist Asian people. So um it's not about stopping, because some people are thinking that this is about white people learning not to be racist. But I think the lesson here is that black people need to protect themselves, because you will always have evil people in every race. You will always have evil people. So we need to protect ourselves, and we need to go back and develop our own continent. We've left our continent to rot, and then we are living in other people's continents. In the past, we were brought to other foreign countries by force. You know, we were brought as slaves to foreign countries by force. But now what we are doing is we are going we are going to all of these countries by ourselves, and that's what I call modern day slavery. We are in the United States, we are in Europe, and we are in all of these countries doing the jobs that the white people themselves will not do. Okay, and that's why we are facing all of these racism and all of these kinds of things. If we were back in our own continents, this will not be happening. And I understand why we have to leave our continent and go into all of these countries. Is because there are not a lot of opportunities for black people in Africa. There's in our own continent, there's not a lot of opportunities, and that's why we feel like, okay, yes, we have to go to all of these places. But the thing is, nobody is going to develop our continent for us. If we are traveling all over the world to develop other people's continent, other people's countries, our countries and our continent will never be developed. We will be forever developing countries. I know that we don't have opportunities, but nobody's going to create opportunities in Africa for us. We are the ones to create all of those opportunities. And we have very selfish leaders in Africa. A few years ago, I went to Africa and I was so shocked what I saw. I saw people that were driving very expensive cars and very expensive 4x4s. And what was shocking to me was that they were driving these expensive cars on roads that were dusty and muddy with potholes and all kinds of things. These were the roads that they were driving these expensive cars. And I thought to myself, one of these cars, imagine the money that was spent on buying this car, how many jobs it can create in you know in a community. It can even fix that road that car is driving on. But what do we see? We see one person driving it and laughing, happy with himself or herself driving it. Something that can help the entire community, one person is driving it and they're happy. That's why I call an idiot. So this is the problem of Africa: selfishness. Selfishness. One person get into power is all for themselves. They're not creating opportunities for their people. And that's why people feel like they have to go into all of these other countries and face things like systemic racism and all of these things. Because our leaders are so selfish. When they get into power, they are not doing anything for their people. They're not doing anything. They're not creating opportunities. They are buying cars are so expensive. And that's why I call that these people are idiots. Because when you die, you can't take that car with you. But you could have changed so many lives. You could have improved your environment. When I went to Africa, so many smelly gutters that are infested with all kinds of germs. That's why you have so many diseases. I mean, how many years is it going to take us to fix our drainage system? How many years does it have to take? And the thing is, Africa is not poor. Africa is not poor. We have so many resources. Our biggest resource is our people. We have manpower. We can put our people to work to develop our countries. But what do we see? We see young people that are trying to get to the United States. Many of them are drowning in the sea. It's all about waste of lives, waste of our resources. I think Africa specializes in waste because Africa is not poor. We are very rich. We have a lot of minerals and we don't know what to do with them. That's why now the Chinese people are finding ways of coming to take our minerals, and they are finding ways to come and take what belongs to us because we don't know what to do with our resources. We are wasting them. We have very fertile land. When I went to Africa recently, and when I was in the car and we were traveling to another town, and I saw many farmers bringing their crops, their products to the roadside to sell their plantains and their cassavas. And I thought, wow, the land is so fertile. We have such fertile land, yet people are going hungry. People are going hungry. Where is the wisdom in that? Where is the wisdom in letting our things go to waste? I live in the UK. When I go to the countryside, their land is not as fertile. Their land is not they don't have so much vegetation like we do. Yet they're not going hungry. They're not going hungry. There's nothing like white privilege. There's absolutely nothing like white privilege. What we have is black selfishness and stupidity and evil. There's no white privilege because white people don't have two brains. White people don't have four hands. We don't have four legs. We are all created equal. The difference is they train themselves. We are all born equal. They train themselves to be better. But what do? We don't even train our children properly. We don't make use of what God has given to us. And that's why That's why we see what we see. There's no white privilege. White privilege is a lie. It's a lie. If you go to the hospitals in the UK, most of the nurses are Africans. Most of the nurses are black people. And the question is, I don't know, are there no sick people in Africa to look after? Our people are dying. Why, whilst our nurses and our doctors are in foreign countries looking after the people of another country, whilst our people are dying? And the presidents and the leaders of Africa, they don't care, because when they are sick, they can afford to go to Dubai, to go to China, to go to the United States and get the health care that they need. So they don't care if all the nurses and the doctors leave. It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them. We have all our doctors and our nurses and our intelligent people are working for other countries. They are developing other people's countries, and our countries are forever developing countries. So this is what is going on. There is no white privilege. There is absolutely no white privilege. I have been to school with white people. They work us hard. I have been to secondary school, university, and I've worked with white people. They work hard like we do, even harder. So there's no white privilege, except that we don't use our resources. God has given us resources. We don't use them. We specialize in waste. We waste our resources. We waste our people. I want people that are full of energy, that we can put them to work to develop our continent, are drowning in the sea because they're trying to get to another country to do the jobs that the white people will not do. And then we complain of racism. Why are we not developing our own continent? Why are we not developing our own people? Because people are full of selfishness. When they get into power, when they have something, it's all for themselves. And the most annoying thing is about Africans is, if somebody wants to make a difference, if somebody that has a good mind, that's not as selfish as them, wants to change things, you know what? They try to destroy that person. If they cannot destroy that person physically, they will destroy that person spiritually. They will go to the fetish priest and they will collect some evil concoction to destroy that person. Because if somebody is shining, it makes them look dark, because their darkness become more obvious the more somebody is shining. So they have to destroy that person. Somebody that could have created jobs, that could have make a difference in the society, they will destroy that person. Because we specializes in waste. That's what we do. We waste everything. People that want to make a difference, they are hated, and we will destroy those people. We don't support them. We have been independent for 50, 60 years. But we are still blaming white people for our problems. We drove the white people away many years ago. We are not the only continent that was colonized. India was colonized. Many Asian countries were colonized. But why is it that they have improved and Africa is still the way it is? Because we like evil. We specialize in evil, selfishness, and stupidity. There's no, I'm saying, there's no white privilege. But what there is black stupidity, evil, and selfishness. Many people in Africa, they like witchcraft. They're in bed with the devil himself. Years ago, when you wanted to see a fetish priest or a witch, you have to go deep into the forest. That's where they used to hide the things that they used to do. That's where you will find them. They used to hide deep in the bushes, in the forest. If somebody wanted to go and see a fetish priest, they will wait and see that nobody is watching. Then they will sneak out and go right into the bushes, into the forest, to go and see a fetish priest. I was so shocked when I went to Africa a few years ago to see that those fetish priests have now come out of the bushes. They are now in plain sight. They even have signboards. Their signboards are next to signboards of churches, and they're advertising their businesses, and they're up to no good. All they're up to is destroying other people. This is what black people are up to, and then we blame white people for our problems. And what I want to say is, black lives will never matter until black lives matter to black people. When black people kill black people, nobody cares. Nobody cares. But all hell breaks loose if a white person kills a black person. All black lives needs to matter. And black lives will never matter to anybody until we ourselves take ourselves seriously. Look at what even Chinese people are doing to black people in China. What are we doing in China? What the hell are we doing in China? Instead of us to concentrate on developing our own continent, we are in China, we are in the United States, we are over here, now we are complaining of racism. Black lives, it will never matter to anybody. It will never matter to white people or Asians or even other black people if it does not matter to us. Because what you call yourself is what people will call you. If you call yourself stupid, people will call you stupid.